begin. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina Muhammadin Ashrafil Mursalin wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. Amma ba'd. Now, we are going to start, not really start, we were working towards this for a while back, and then we took a break for all our sub-sessions, yeah? And then we went on to the mansubats, we call them, yeah? The mansubat isms that you find in both Jumla Ismiyah and Jumla Fi'liyah. I had a request though, from one of our sisters to go through the mustasna that we did last week, yes? Because she could not do, or she did not understand how to do the homework that I set, yeah? So I'll go over again the rules for the mustasna, and then we will continue with our additional rules of Jumla. Anyway, for tonight, I was thinking that I will do a recap of what we've done on sentences as a whole anyway. So then maybe we go on to a new topic about sentences next week, yeah, inshallah. So now mustasna. Now, what was mustasna all about? By definition, it is an exclusion, yeah, it's an exclusion. That means, or an exemption, that's something else. To remove someone or something from a group or situation. This is what we said. So the students came except for Zaid. So from the group of students, Zaid did not come. Yeah, he was excluded. And we said that this exclusion in Arabic is called istisna. Yes, istisna. Now, there is istisna, exclusion, which has rules. Yeah, there's istisna that do not have rules in a way, but the meaning of exclusion is there. This is what we saw last week. Yeah, so you will need to see the recording about this. So here we have, of course, the group of students, the tulabs, who came, and then Zayed did not. Yeah, so he was excluded from the group of students. And we said that illa, is harful istisna. Now, this is, strictly speaking, not an i'rab term. Yeah, you will not see harfu istisna used in i'rab books. Most of the time, they will call it harfu. What can you remember? Harfu hasr. Yeah, ha, sad, and ra. Yeah, harfu asr. So, but for now, because we are saying it's mustasna, it's easy to look at it as this. Yep, but in Iraq books, it will be harfu hasr. Yeah, hasrin. Yeah, without the alif lam. Okay. The word ila is the mustasna, the thing that is excluded, Zaid in this case, and it is always mansub. So in this case, this is pure istisna. Yeah, this is pure istisna. Yeah, because this is the only time what is excluded is mansub. Yeah, when the one that is being excluded, we call it mustasnan, and it usually comes with ila. Yeah, it always comes with ila. Okay. The tarkib, we saw this as well. We said we have the fi'il, the fa'il. This one, for the time being, we call it the harfu istisna, and of course, the mustasna. Yeah, and it is excluded from the group of fa'ils. In this case, the fa'il. Yeah. Then we can also have mustasna in Jumla Ismiyah. Yeah, so we saw this as well. At-tulabu mujtahiduna illa Zaidan. Yeah, so here we have our mubtada. Yes, and we say is hardworking. The students are hardworking, except for Zaid. Yes, except for Zaid. So here, this would have been the tarkib. Yeah, remember, tarkib is not i'rab per se. Tarkib is the breakdown of the different functions of each word. Yeah, when we talk about i'rab, we start describing each and every word. Yeah, with our i'rab terms. So here's mubtada, khabar, harfu istisna, and again mustasna, but this time from the group of mubtadas. Yeah, here. In this case, the group is the mubtada. In this case, the group is the fa'il. Okay. Now, some terms here that I went through last class, we said tammun. Tammun. What do we mean by this? Mujab, manfi, and mufarraq. Mufarraq. Yeah, these were terms that we learned. And this applies usually tam, mujab, applies to what comes before the hasrin. Yeah, that means the half istisna or illa. Yeah, so what comes before. Mufarraq is something else, but it's something to do with what comes before as well. Yeah, because it's mustasna minhu, what comes before the illa. So here is the correct term. Now we're looking at the correct term, adatu hasrin or harfu hasrin. Yeah, illa. And we say mujab, we say here, laisa manfiyan. That means what comes before illa is positive. Is positive. It is not nahi, it is not nafi, it is not a question. Okay, this is what we mean by positive. Not nahi, not nafi, not a question. Yeah, so not negation, not forbidding, and not istifham. Then we have something we said was غير مفرق. This term مفرق again, and I put here that means there is no mustasna minhu. Okay, this is the big definition or the the overall definition. That means it does not have the group that the exclusion has from which the excluded has been excluded from. Yeah, so that group is not mentioned. Okay, so the sentence is positive, but there is no mention of the group. Is that right? Sorry. غير مفرق means there is a mention, yeah, because مفرق is laisa mustasna minhu. So if you say غير مفرق, that means there is mustasna minhu. Yep, sorry about that. I confused myself also. Can you repeat what I've just said, Sister Ralin? What did I say about mufarraq? What does this mean? Assalamualaikum. Sister Ralin, your mic is muted. Mm-hmm. So what does mufarraq mean here? Laisa is without. Okay. No, if you want to say. No mustasna minhu. Okay. When I say mufarraq is laisa mustasna minhu, automatically when I say it's ghairu mufarraq, there is mustasna minhu. Okay. Can you remember what mustasna minhu means in the first place?
Which one? Mufarraq?
Mustasna minhu. The meaning of mustasna minhu. Mm-hmm.
We exclude.
Okay, this is the group from which we exclude things from. Yeah, this is what we saw earlier. Yeah, this is what we saw earlier. Inshallah. This is your mustasna minhu. Yeah, your fa'il and your mubtada. Okay, this is your mustasna minhu. This is your mustasna. This is also your mustasna. Both are mansub. But you have excluded them. No, mustasna min who. So who's the who? The fa'il. Yeah. So this is also minhu, the mubtada. From what? The mubtada. Yeah, this group. Can you remember that? Yes, Sister Fatima.
Sada, like does these status, like for example, you said the word after illa, which is mustasna, is always mansub, but does the mustasna minhu is always marfu?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
No,
Okay.
not necessarily, yeah, but majority, yes, yeah, marfu, but not necessarily. We will see in the other cases, yeah, we'll see in the other cases,
And
inshallah.
Ustadha, does the word after illa, does it
Mhm.
come immediately after illa all the time, or it can have long distance?
Uh, mm, After ilah, yeah, after
Always
ilah,
after.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Exactly.
But okay, there's another case that we can look at, and that one can come before. Where were we? Yes. Okay. Here was the slide that we were looking at. So when we say mufarraq laisa mustasna minhu, is when we empty the sentence of the group from which the mustasna, the one after ila, has been excluded, right? So if it is Zaid, is the mustasna, and mustasna minhu is the one, the group from which it is being excluded. Yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah, so here we are. So in this case, the mustasna is nasab. Yes, the word after ila is nasab. So the some example here again, we see it. The students came except for Zaid. Yeah, and the sentence before it, as you see, it's positive. There's no nafi, there's no forbidding, and it's certainly not a question. Yeah, so this is a positive sentence before ila. And under this, in this case, this would be mansub because this is clearly your mustasna, the thing being excluded. Yeah. Now, when it is غير mujab, a little more complicated. Okay, we have two categories here. So now we are saying there is negation, there is forbidding. Yeah. But we have two cases. When it's غير مفرق, that is when the mustasna minhu is there, and this case, you can have two things happening to the word after illa. Okay, so it can be mustasna, that's why it's nasab. Yeah, that means it's the thing being excluded. Or it can be what we call badal. Why do we say this? Because you see, remember, we have three types of badal. The badal that replaces the whole thing, the badal that was a part of something. Yes, Sister Fatima?
Yes, sir.
Mm. Yes? Okay, all right. You had your hands up, so I was wondering whether you had a question. Okay, so in this case, when it's part of the group, this is badal ba'da min kul. Remember, badal ba'da min kul, part of a whole. Yeah, so this is why now we see it marfu. So you're allowed either to do this or this. The preferred choice is badal. Yeah, the preferred choice is badal. Then you can tell the difference. Yeah, then you can tell the difference. Otherwise, it might be difficult. Then we have the case of mufarraq. Here, when there is no mention of the mustasna minhu, the group is not mentioned. No, what was the original group that's missing? The musanna. Yeah. So now, in this case, we say it's hasabun mawqi'ihi al-jumlah. That means we depends on the place of the thing that was where it came from. Yeah, where it came from. So here, mustasna minhu is not mentioned. Yeah, it's not mentioned. That's why we say laisa mustasna minhu mufarraq. Ghayr mufarraq mentioned. So in this case, it depends on what was the function of the word in the first place. Yeah. So if we look at here, ma ja'ani illa zaidun. So here zaidun is no longer what we call mustasna. Yeah, why? Because we don't see the mustasna minhu and there is negation. These two things must exist for the third case. Yeah, there's three cases here. First case, second case, third case. For the third case, two things must exist: negation and the exception. Yeah, negation must always be there. All right. So here we are saying Zaid is the fa'il because of ja'a. No one came to me except for Zaid. Yeah, then here in this case, Zaidan. It's not mustasna. Okay, this is not mustasna. Why? Because there's ra'aitu Zaidan. Yeah, so this is actually maf'ul bihi. And here, marartu bi Zaidin because of the ba. Yes, so this one here, it is isim majrur. That's why Zaidin. So it's not mustasna. Yeah. So for this case, although we call this exception because of the illa, remember illa excludes things, there is no mustasna after it. And even if you see it mansub, yeah, Sister Fatima, even though you see it mansub, it's not mustasna. Yeah, it's only in this case that we have
So
the
Ustad,
mustasna. Yeah.
if it has to have a mustasna minhu to be called mustasna, Ustad, and
In a way, yeah, we can look at it broadly like that. Yeah, but
Mhm.
that's not strictly the case.
Okay.
Uh, that's not really strictly the case, but yes, as a whole, this is what happens. If you don't have the mustasna minhu, it's غير mufarraq, yeah, and you have illa and it's positive, you know, remember the word positive is important. It has to be positive. Then it's mustasna, yeah. But in this case, for example, you have, what did you say just now?
mustasna minhu.
Ah, here the mustasna minhu is not, no, in this case, the mustasna minhu is mentioned. Yes, is mentioned. But is it mentioned?
Yeah, tullab, Ustad.
Yeah, it's mentioned. Yeah, but because it's not negative.
Hmm.
No, it is negative.
Positive.
It is negative. It is
Hmm.
negative, but it do you have the group, right?
Yeah.
Then it is not the third case, the exclusion. Yeah, the exclusion is not there. Okay.
So I have a couple of ayahs here. I just happened to open a page and I found some. So,
Mm-hmm.
for example, when we say you had that that the ma and illa combination, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have like فَمَا يَأْتِيهِمْ مِنْ ذِكْرٍ مِنْ رَبِّهِمْ مُحْدَثٍ إِلَّا اسْتَمَعُوهُ وَهُمْ يَلْعَبُونَ. So here we have ma and then illa, but the word after illa is not mansoob.
Mm-hmm.
So then this is the third case which we were talking about. Mufarra.
Mm-hmm. Or it can be this one. Depends on whether the group is mentioned. Was it mentioned?
Uh, I don't see the group. No, sir. Like see, ma yatihim min dhikrim mir rabbihim muhdathin illa istama'uhu. Or actually, let's look at I think this one said wama arsalna qablaka illa
Oh,
rijala.
hold on. Let us do this first, okay?
Okay,
We're going to
right.
do a part where we're going to go through the ayah.
Okay.
So it's good to like show the rest of the class the actual ayah that you were asking. So
Yeah.
I'll highlight that later and then we'll see which group it falls in. Yeah,
Okay.
inshallah. So here again. So it's not that difficult, okay, for this case of illa. Look at the sentence before illa. Okay, is it positive or negative? If it is positive, clear-cut case, if it's illa, there will be a mustasna. Yeah, there will be a mustasna when it's positive. But if it is negative, then you can have a mustasna or not. Okay, if it is not positive, you can have a mustasna, as in this case, or not. Okay, so if, for example, the group is mentioned, when the group is mentioned, you have a choice whether you want to make it mustasna or you can make it badal. But if the group is not mentioned, as in this case, yeah, then this is the third case of emphasis. This is emphasis actually. Remember we said that what's the difference between this and this? Both of them have ma and illa. Yeah, both of them have negation and illa. Third case, second case. But the difference is if we remove ma and illa from this case, the sentence still makes sense. The original meaning is still there. Yeah, Zaid came to me. I saw Zaid. I passed by Zaid. Yeah, here the meaning is only Zaid came to me. But the original meaning of Zaid came to me is still there, but there is an emphasis now for this case 3. If I did the same thing here, I remove the ma. Yes, sorry, there's no hamzah here. I remove the ma and I remove the illa. And then the sentence doesn't make sense anymore. Yeah, the student came Zaid. Yeah, the student came Zaid. Doesn't make sense. And here, you don't know who's the doer now, Zaid or the student. Yeah. So in this case, the meaning just crumbles. The structure just crumbles when you take the ma and illa away. In this third case, when you take ma and illa away, it's still intact. The meaning is still there, but the emphasis has gone. Yeah, the meaning is still there, but the emphasis is gone. In this case, totally gone. Yeah, and this is, of course, there's no negation. So this is your mustasna, clear-cut mustasna. This is the one that you have a choice. Yeah, and this one is not really an exception. It's more like an emphasis. Yeah, more like an emphasis on the original meaning. Yeah, this is the 3 cases. Keep this in mind. So I had all the other slides that we did the last time. So here we just said the mustasna minhu, the group it belongs to. Yeah, and we have the first case. Remember, first case, positive and complete, meaning the group is mentioned and the sentence is positive. Yeah. And then we have the third case, the second case, sorry, where it's still complete. That means you have the mustasna minhu, is still mentioned, but now the sentence is negative. So this is the one you have 2 choices. You either make it mustasna or you make it badal. Yeah, but the preferred one is badal. This is the afdal. Yeah, this is afdal. Then you have the third case. Yeah, just now was what? Complete and positive. This is complete and negative. And now we have the incomplete case. When it's incomplete, it's always, always negative. The sentence before. There's no positive and incomplete. Okay? Positive and incomplete does not exist in cases of exception. Okay? So here it is. And here we put here, nakis da'iman manfi. Yeah? Incomplete is always negative. So here mustasna minhu is not mentioned. Yeah, it's not mentioned. So here, this is what we call mufarraq, the case of emphasis using the hafu hasr, the istisna. Yeah, so 3 cases only. So now we go to the Quranic examples. Can you tell me the ayah number that you were looking at?
It's Surah Al-Anbiya.
Hold on, yeah.
Number
I have to stop the slideshow for a while so that we can go back. So just remind me, it's slide 9. Okay. Sorry. Have I actually stopped the show? I paused it. Okay, I paused it. I did not stop it. Okay. All right. Yeah. Surah Anbiya.
Ayah 2, Sada, and then we have an example in Ayah 7 also.
Ayah 2 here. All right. Can everyone see that? Yep. So ma ya'tihim min zikrim min rabbihim muhdasin illa stama'uhu wa hum yal'abun. Bismillah. No mention comes to them anew from their Lord, except that they listen to it while they are at play. So what is being excluded here?
Uh, um, the the reminder. I don't know. I'm just.
Okay. Remember you were saying, is it always mansub? You were
Mm,
asking me,
mm,
right?
mm,
Ah, so,
mm,
so if it's mustasna, yes. Yeah, so now this is a bit more complex, right? So
mm.
ma ya'tihim. No mention comes to them. So the negation is for ya'tihim
Mhm.
or for zikrin.
No mention comes to them from. um. No. I don't know stuff.
Okay, let's break this down. Let's break this down. Who wants to give this a try? Sister Ralin, is the sentence before ila negative or positive? This is
It's negative stuff. That's
okay, it's
Ma,
negative. Why is that, Sister Ralin? Why is it negative?
ma.
Ma, okay, no. Okay, no. No, ila. Yeah, no, ila. All right. Now, it's negative. So if it's negative, we have how many choices when it's negative? What did we see in the slide just now?
two stuff.
Okay, what are the two cases?
So without and
Without the
without
group
group, yeah.
and with the group, right?
Mhm.
Without the group and with the group. So we are saying here that the thing being excluded, yeah, except that they listen to. Now this is like more not a thing. It's more like an action, isn't it? Except
Yes.
that they listen to it while they are at play. So in this case, yeah, in this case, there is no action mentioned before,
Mm.
but there is negation. So some sort of okay. What is istama'uhu here? The
Istama'u.
irab of this sentence.
This is file. This file, no, so the fail file.
Yeah, so this is jumla fi'liya in front here, right? No mention
Yeah.
comes to them. Yeah, we're talking about the coming of a mention, and it's not coming to them from their Lord, except that they listen to it while they are at
Play.
play. Yeah.
Mm.
So okay, let's see. Let's rule out case 3. Oh no, let's rule out case 2. Can we rule out case 2? If we take out ma and ila, will it still make sense? If we take out ma and ila, will it still make sense?
No.
No. So there goes case 2. No case 2, no case 1. So we're
Mm.
left with
The middle one.
the middle one is not, the middle one is case 2. So it's actually case
3.
3. Yeah,
Mm.
but there is there's another one that we have not I have not mentioned. Hold on. There's a term that's called, remember? Uh, Let me take out the slide that we did last week. When it says it is connected and disconnected. Do you remember the term for this? When it's connected and not connected. Do you remember the term for this? Can I just show you for a while, inshallah? Yes. We have here muttasil, connected, and munqati, yeah, which is disconnected. Munqata, which is disconnected. Meaning that the group from which it's being excluded has nothing to do with the thing that's being excluded. In this case, the ustad is not part of the students. So this is disconnected. And then we have here connected because Zaid is part of the students. Yeah, so we have this other classification. I said this is types of exception, and I differentiate this from the cases of exception. Yeah, because there's some overlap. There's some overlap. Okay, where were we just now? The ayah. Yeah. All right. So in this case, is a mustasna that is munqata. I mean, it's not connected to each.
Disconnect.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's disconnected. Yeah, and it's also case 3. It is also case 3. No, it's not case 3. Sorry, it's case 2, isn't it? Because case 3, it would make sense. You said it didn't make sense, right? And that's why you say it's the middle.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
case 2. Okay.
Yeah.
So now you're saying that, but here we cannot say, yeah, because this is not it's not really, when we look at the status, this is more like the fi mahali, right? So we can't really say whether it is nasab or whether it's badal, because there is no status that we can see offhand. Yeah. But if we look at the meaning, this is an action, right? Except that they listen to it while they are at play. No mention comes to them. So mentioning and listening are two different things. Yeah? Yeah. But both are actions. Can we consider that like a badal kumingkul? Or it's strictly nasab, not a badal? Fi mahali nasab.
I think badal, Ustad.
Okay, let's have a look what they say. Sometimes they do not say it. Let's have a look what they said. Why do you say it's badal? Because it's both actions, is it?
Yeah, and not obvious nasab.
My inclination is more of
Sentence no.
more of nasab, because to me it, well, if it's the same action, right? If the same action, this is both seems to apply, yeah, which is true lah. Because if it can either be badal or it can be mustasna, right? Sorry, what was the number again?
2, Ustad.
21 and 2. Okay, let's have a look. I hope they said something. Sometimes they don't. It is this not mufarrak. Yeah. So it is the third case. Interesting. The third case. So it's supposed to make sense when we take out ma and la. Okay, if we take out ma and la, what does it mean? They came a mention from their Lord. Yeah, they came a mention from their Lord. Muhdasin. How would we translate muhdasin?
New, something new. New.
There's new, Ustad, in translation.
Hadith is something that occurs new, like a new event.
So this is it? Like a
new.
A new. Okay. No mention comes to them anew from except that they listen to it while they are at play. And it says it's istisna mufarraq, which means it's the third case. There is emphasis here. Yeah, I suppose so, yeah. No mention comes to them. So how would I write this sentence if there is no emphasis? That's another way of looking at it. How would I write this sentence if there is no emphasis? Any suggestions? You can put it in the chat box if you like. How would you write this sentence if there is no emphasis? Remember when we looked at the case of no one came to me except Zaid. Only Zaid came to me, right? If there's no emphasis, we just say Zaid came to me. So in this case, if there's no emphasis, as what they have mentioned, that there is emphasis, then how would we write it without emphasis? Can we say?
Can I say it?
Yes, yes.
Every time a mention came to them anew, they heard it while they were joking about it or playing about.
Yeah. So that means we can say a mention comes to them anew from their Lord, but they listen to it, but they are no. There's still the but there. What did you say again? Sorry. Again, Sister Kurotai.
Yeah, sorry. I would say, just to make it a simple statement without emphasis, we say every time a mention comes to them anew from their Lord, they listen to it while they are at play.
Every time. I'm writing it in the chat what you're saying.
Sure.
Every time. Why is my caps lock on? Every time a mention from their Lord comes to them,
Anew.
anew comes to them anew. Muhaddithin.
They listen to it while they are at play.
Listen to it while they are at play. Okay, I'm not going to put every time there because every time also is like an indication of emphasis, like every time. So I'm just going to say when a mention comes to them.
Yeah,
when a
Yeah,
mention from their Lord comes to them. So I put that in the chat box. So yeah. So it does make sense when we remove the no and the accept. Yeah, it does make sense when we remove the no and accept. There is a sentence. Do you get where we're getting? Sister Fatima? Assalamualaikum.
No, sorry, I was on mute. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, so what was the other ayah?
This one looks like straightforward, Sada. Ayah number 8.
Ayat number 8. Okay, straightforward. Tell me what is it then?
Because I see a mansub after illa, no, Sada.
Yes.
But I could not figure out the mustasna minhu. That's why I asked.
This is la, right? Not illa.
No, ayah number 8. Wama arsalna qablaka illa rijalan nuhi.
Sorry, number 8. Which surah?
Same surah, Sada. Surah Al-Anbiya. Down there.
Isn't this surah 8? Am I having the wrong ayah?
No,
I think having wrong surah. Huh? No, this is the right one. Yeah, this is the right surah.
Anbiya, right?
Yeah.
Anbiya.
Yeah. Surah ayah number 7, Sada.
Oh, ayah number 7. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. 1 to 3. I don't know 1 to 3, Sada.
Wama arsalna qabl. Of course you know 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, you just said it. But this is rijalan, right? So this is mansub, but mansub with a ma. Yeah, so probably it's your 2.
Case 2. Okay. But Ustad, what is mustasna minhu?
The group arsalna, we send before you except men. Yeah. Qablaka illa rijalan.
The mustathna minhu is actually the Anbiya, the Rusul. Rusul is the mustathna minhu, but it's not.
Because you are implying that already,
all
right?
the messengers were human beings. Yeah.
So
Wama arsalna, we send Muhammad. Yeah.
So it can be hidden also, that means?
It can be because, we send not before you. It's understood we said what, right? We send the prophets. Sorry, yeah.
How about qablaka, Sada? Like it's talking about messenger there. So
this is before you, right? This one
yes,
this is who he's addressing to. Who's he's addressing? Not so much the group that Rijalan belongs to.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why.
No, actually, this is how I see it. Can I say?
Yeah.
Okay. So wama arsalna, the arsalna is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, nahnu.
Yes.
Yeah. So then between the wama arsalna and qablaka, there is rusul. It's understood that there is rusul there.
Yeah.
وما أرسلنا rusulun, if you say like that.
Rusulan, yeah, because
Rusulan,
it is,
sorry,
yeah, it's
rusulan.
maf'ul bihi.
Yeah, then that this rijalan will become the
The
will be the
mustasna.
yeah,
This
mustasna.
mustasna, yeah,
Yeah,
this is the mustasna.
yeah.
Oh no, Sister, how do you say? Sister Fatima was addressing the kablaka. What's the ka there? So this ka is actually
So
the
that's
person who's
Rasulullah
being
sallallahu
addressed.
alaihi wasallam.
This is the
Yeah,
person being addressed, yeah? Muhammad.
Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Oh, okay, Alhamdulillah.
Jazakallah khair, sir.
Amin wa ya. Thank you for sharing, because then we think a lot more. When I do the slides, I'm just going through what we already know, right? Okay, let me start back the slide show. Okay, now here's the first homework that we had. Fasharibu minhu illa kalilan minhum. Now in this case, which case do you think we're looking at? Is it positive or negative at the beginning?
It's positive.
It is positive, so it's case 1. Yeah, we only have one case. Yeah, so it's case 1. So here it's straightforward. The mustasna is there because you can see it's mansub. Yeah. Here fasajadu illa iblisa is also positive, but in this case, it is also mansub. Yeah, but we don't see this is what we call disconnected. What's the term for disconnected?
That's right. Munqati'a. Munqati'a.
Munqati'a. Okay. This third case, this is interesting. This is actually when Lot was leaving his people, yeah, in the night or early morning. And not any among you look back except your wife. Okay, so which case is this, do you think? There is la, so there's negation. That means it's either case 2 or case 3. Is it case 3? Is this not mufarraq? Any thoughts? Wife belongs to among you or no? Minkum?
Yes, sister, it belongs.
So that's the case. Which case? Case 2 or case 3? Case 2 or case 3?
Nasabna, Ustad.
This one? 2?
Mm.
Okay. Alhamdulillah. We'll see the summary later. Yeah. So here, this is simpler. Inshallah. Wama Muhammadun illa Rasulun. So which case is this? It's also negation. So it's either case 1 or 2, but we see this is
Marfu.
So is this case 2 or case 3? Take away ma and illa. Does it make sense?
Yes.
So this is case
3.
3. Okay, alhamdulillah. وَمَا الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا إِلَّا مَتَاعُ الْغُرُورِ. مَتَاعُ الْغُرُورِ. Mata'a is to it's enjoyment, right? Mata'a is a temporary enjoyment. Na'im is a permanent enjoyment, yeah? So that's it. So وَمَا الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا illa mata'u. So this is not case 1. Yeah. So this can be
3, sir.
yeah. It's an emphasis, right? Here I've actually translated it in 2 ways because remember, ma can be 2 things. It can be negation and it can also be isim.
No, no, some emphasis, no, sir.
What is?
It's emphasis, like.
Isim mausul, yeah? Mal hayatud dunya. So that's why it's translated as what here. But here, yes, this is for emphasis, yeah? This is for and this is also emphasis, but this time of a different form, no, not with negation, but with the mausul.
Is that like for us to call ma of negation, it has to follow it with the verb, right? Like past tense verb or something.
Why they take it as negation here, right? It's because there's illa. So whenever there's illa, normally ma would be negation. Yeah. But in why they translated this, they don't have negation here. You see what in class is except the enjoyment. They didn't have the word negation here. They used the word what instead.
Yeah.
So, but actually, strictly speaking, when you already have an illa here, automatically it's this one. No?
No, sir, like if you ask us like ma of negation, when you ask, then if we have to, can we quickly see at what is coming after ma to determine whether it is ma of negation or not? Like if it is a verb, then we can
Yeah.
of
If there is an illa, probably yes, it's negation almost all the time. I haven't come across a case where it's ma and illa when it's not negation. But if let's say you have ma and then there's no illa, yeah, there's the likelihood it can be your how do you say? It can still be negation actually without the illa, yeah, because it's not an exception, but you can still have negation. You get what I mean? So if there is a ma and there's no illa, it's open to being a negation, but it won't be an exception. But if there is an illa, then we know for sure it's a negation that comes with exception.
Okay. Got it.
Because there's an emphasis to it. Got to these things. Well, we keep on having to keep on thinking, and sometimes someone says to me something, it makes me think back again. You know, I'm convinced it's something, and then someone says, "Oh, yeah, we can look at it that way." Yeah, and then it becomes tricky. Now, what about this one? Ma illa. This one there is negation. Yeah. Mustasna minhu mentioned, right? What do you think? No one agrees? If you had decreed upon them, kill yourselves or leave your homes, they would not have done it except for a few of them. Yeah, so there is a mention of mustasna minhu and there is negation. Yeah, so it is the second case, but this is qalilun. Yeah, fa'aluhu illa qalilun. It's rafa. So here it is badal, yeah, because it's part of them, but a few of them, out of them. Yeah, so this would be your case 2 and where we use a badal. Yeah, where we use badal. What about the last one here? Sister Rylin, have you totally gone knocked out? Oh, Sister Nada has left too now. Yeah. Go through the motions. Go through the motions. What?
So ila is exception,
Mm-hmm.
which it says negation refers to the
Is there negation, Ila? The sentence before
yes.
Ila.
Oh, before ila. So,
Hmm.
no, there is no
No,
negation.
there's no negation.
But
So
is exception here.
yes, this is a simple exception. Yeah, this is simple because uh, tawallaitum. How would you translate that?
Uh, you turned away.
Yeah, you all, right? Antum,
You
you all turned away. Illa kalila minkum, from you. Yeah, from you. So still addressing you. Yeah.
you
Uh, so this is a clear-cut exception, mustathna, and that's why we have qalilan. Yeah, that's why we have qalilan. Alhamdulillah. Yeah, so now I've done a table here. Boom. And I put it here, whether it's connected, disconnected. Remember, this is the type of istisna, yeah, but not the case of istisna. Yeah? So here is the third case. We know this is the third case because we say it's mufarraq. Yeah, mufarraq. When you take the ma and ila away, it still makes sense. Yes, for mufarraq, we know that for sure. So let me see whether I've got this right or wrong. Okay, so we said just now, this was case one. Was this case one? Yeah, qalilan. And this one too, case one. But case one, in this case, is connected. In this case, it's disconnected. Yeah, see where the overlap is. So it can still be case one, but one can be connected, one can be disconnected. Yeah. Oh, then here, case two, disconnected. Did we say case two? Did we say something else? Hmm? Yeah, I'll leave it at case two. Yep. Wama, this one is case three, and here case two, and here case one. Right. Anybody disagree with that? No? Okay. Alhamdulillah. Okay. We have actually only 8 minutes left. I'm not sure what we can do in 8 minutes. So, we will go through all this the next time. Yeah, because I just wanted to, let's just go through this slide here, what we have learned so far during our course. We talked about the two different types of jumlas, jumlah ismiyah. We talked about the parts in the jumlah ismiyah, the mubtada, the khabar. We said both were marfu, yes, both were marfu, but usually the khabar is nakira and it matches in number and gender with the mubtada. Yeah. And then we said that we can add a fi'il nakis in front of an ismiyah, yes, like kana or laisa. And we said that isim kana and laisa is always marfu, and habar kana and laisa is always mansub. Yes, do you remember this? We learned this. And then we talked about inna. Yeah, mushabbah bi fi'il. Isim inna we said was mansub, and we said habar inna was marfu. The other way around. Yeah, but both come with jumlah ismiyah. Both come with jumlah ismiyah. Then we went on to talk about jumlah fi'liyah. We talked about the fi'il. Of course, there are two types of fi'il. Fa'il, the doer. This will be marfu, like we saw just now. And we said that we have masculine, fa'ala yaf'alu, madin, mudari, and mu'annas, feminine. Yes, so we have fa'alat, taf'alu. And we talked about all the other objects or maf'ul bihi or detail as what we would like to call it when we were doing bayina. And all of them would be mansub because they are objects or detail. We talked about the second detail as well. We differentiated the second detail with other things. Yes, we need to go back to that lesson about that. And then we talked about maf'ul fihi, which is our zarf. And this was mansub. And then we talked about hal. Yes, which refers to someone that is the sahibul hal. And the sahibul hal is usually ma'rifah. But the hal itself is mansub and nakira. Yeah. All right. So I will stop here. And next week, I'm just going to go over again what we have done so far before going on to something new. Do you remember all this, the emphasis that we did? Or do you want me to go over this again? Because it's been a while. Yes, sisters? Do you want me to go over again or this is no need? You just did this, so this should still be fresh. Show of hands. Yes, hands up. No, we just go to new stuff. Can you hear me? Sister Rani, your mic is muted.
Yes.
You want to go over it again?
Um,
Or do it? Or we just go to new stuff?
it depends. It's on you.
Sister Quratul Ain, are you able to answer me at this point in time? Are you just listening now? I think she's just listening at the moment. Okay. So anyway, I will go through roughly, and then if there's anything you want me to go over again, inshallah, we will do that. Yeah, inshallah. Okay
Sorry, I
then.
wasn't here.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Would you like to repeat? I mean, these are things that we have already covered. I'm just summarizing what we have done. Yeah, before we go on to other things. So, but I'm just asking, is there any particular topic that you might want me to go over again before we move on to the new topic? The new topic
Maybe
is sentence order. Sorry?
Tamyiz.
Tamyiz we did under numbers. Do you recall?
Oh, okay. Oh, that's one topic I wanted to attend and I couldn't attend. So I probably will have to watch the recording.
Okay. You let us know, yeah? And then if there's any particular question, inshallah, I hope to make it clearer for you, inshallah.
Okay.
Okay then. Subhanallah wa bihamdik nash'adu an la ilaha illa ant nastaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And next week we'll continue on teams, yeah, inshallah.